Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well and labor in this word and doctrine. We will go to Mashah. Shalom. We're just going to make a quick video going through 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, not the whole chapter. We're going to read through just the beginning part basically of the chapter. I'm going to start reading at verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, and by our gathering together unto him. Okay? And that gathering together is going to be by a way of the chariots delivering the elect from the four winds. Alright, from the four corners of the earth. This is the book of Mark, chapter 13. Oh, I thought it was quicker than that. Mark 13 and verse 27. It says, and then shall he send his angels, and shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of the heaven.
Okay. Yeah, and really, when we go to camp, we're gathering together.
Yep.
Yeah, when we go to, because the word there is synagogue. Synagogue is sin with, and then gog. Yeah, I think that goes into teaching. Like a pedagogue is a child teacher, and so on and so forth. So the ultimate gathering together of us will be when we're physically delivered. Yeah, but we will be meeting up and having synagogues or churches together and such.
Mm-hmm. Now it says, verse 2, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that the day of Hamashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. So the day of our deliverance ultimately, excuse me once again. Alright, so again, I'll just track my thoughts. So again, the coming of our Lord is only going to happen once there's a falling away. So when it says, except there come a falling away first, that falling away, and that word in the Greek is actually a key word to go into. That falling away goes into us being scattered, by losing our heritage, by losing our identity in our heritage, basically.
So let Mr. Strong say it.
Let's hear it.
Strong's G 646. Apostasia. Apostasia.
And as you can see, that goes into the word apostasy. And like we were just going through it before we started, and going through that word, Muslims, if someone was a Muslim and they're no longer one, they'll say they're an apostate, where they fell away. Really, our falling away was our falling away from the land. Then we begin to lose our spiritual belief, if you like, so-called religion and everything like that. That's another way we became Gentiles. And we fell away from our land, and certain ones lost the culture, certain ones kept it. There's always going to be a remnant.
And it says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Read that verse one second, please.
I got you. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
So the day of Hamashiach is not going to come except we first fall away from our land, and then a certain man of sin, specifically, the son of perdition, more specifically, Esau the Edomite, super specifically, would be exposed. So this is all part of the ministry. People talk, why do you have to talk about, we get that, we know who he is now, why do you have to keep it? Because he has to be exposed, man. Expose him.
Plus, we are supposed to be like a broken record, really, with this. We're supposed to keep pushing out the same thing. We don't push out new things, make up new doctrines all the time.
Shabbat the Zealot, Masha, what new thing do you teach? Well, it's not about teaching new things, man. It's literally, it tells you in the scripture, let me get there. So this is the book of Titus 1 and 9. Holding fast the faithful word as he hath been taught, that he may be able to by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers. Another one, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 15. Therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the traditions which ye have been taught, whether by word or our epistle. It doesn't say, oh, okay, brother, you've heard it, now create a new thing. Jake wanna hear that flashy shit.
you know, the scriptures go into is it in Revelation 18 actually or 17? I think it's 17. Goes into perdition. It mentions the term perdition. And I believe it's referring to the 8th.
It must be 18 because it's talking about of the 7th.
That means it's 17.
17.
So yeah, that's why I did it camp actually.
This is Revelation 17, verse. Let's start from 10. Yeah.
You go ahead.
And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
The ones that are fallen, okay, the Greeks, the French, the Spaniards, Germania Major, Germania Minor, and then the one that was Rome, and the one after that was Great Britain. All right, and how is it written? Just so I know how to really break this down.
And the beast, this is verse 11, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th.
No, go 10 bucks, sure. Yeah,
verse 10. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is.
It's wrong. Go ahead.
Because at the time, who was this? This was
John
the Revelator. Yeah, on the island of Patmos.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was under Roman rulership. Yeah, so Rome was ruling that, the one that is at that time. It says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come.
Yep, and that's Great Britain.
Yep.
Okay.
And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
Which he did. All right. Now keep going.
Verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th.
Okay.
And
you go.
And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition.
Right, go into perdition. Now, the 8th is America. Is America all these things?
Yeah. So it is the 8th head, the 11th horn. It is Nineveh. It is Assyria. It is Babylon. It is Sodom. It is Egypt.
And not literally Sodom, Egypt, and whatnot.
Although
spiritually, but it is literally Ophir.
Asareth.
Yep. There you go.
We've triggered you enough, man.
Yeah, man.
Next lesson.
Next, 2 Thessalonians 2. I'll read verse 3 again. Now it reads, that no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped. So he exalts himself, I should say, above all that is called power, basically, all God, all judge, ruler. He tries to make himself the ultimate judge, ultimate ruler of everything. And people whether they want to admit it or not, they low-key buy into it.
Yeah. All you have to say, say he said some top shit. We mean some high-level, highbrow shit. All you have to say, what, you don't believe in science, bro? Oh yeah, no, my bad. What was I thinking? Yeah, just because he said it. Oh, that's science. What does science mean? Knowledge. Yeah? Right. So he's the one that presents everything that is knowledge. He knows, you can't have anything contrary to him. Yeah, vocab. Why is he so obsessed with finding out what the Israelites believe? Yeah, he had that sister talking about Kemet going into so-called black conscious, and the first thing they did was mention the so-called black Hebrew Israelites. Yeah, we're everywhere. Now you can't, but he likes to control the narrative of everything. Yeah, so especially this truth. That's why we've got Haman Marco Riser.
Now it reads in verse 5. Remember, verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he is as the Most High. So that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High. Horrible slip there. Showing himself that he is the Most High. Okay, so he himself, he is nothing but a wicked demon. Okay. Yep, but he most certainly wants to make everyone believe that he is the Most High. Okay, so everybody can follow his agenda, so they can get down with his heaven. Okay, which is our hell. And he wants everyone to submit to him fully by taking that digital all, man. Alright, if you take the digital all, you're saying this is my perpetual master. He has all the records of me is in this thing, in my all. And if I slip up, it'll go away from me, so I have to serve him. Basically, that's the mindset. That's what it's gonna be, man. People are gonna buck up to it so easily in Jacob's trouble too, man. I mean, do you know how fucked up so many scenarios were for our people before, but it says Jacob's trouble is going to be even worse than that. Yeah, man.
Book of breaking.
Going to be worse than that. You know, that stuff has traumatized us to this day.
And what really can be worse, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I'm just saying the magnitude of what we're about to experience. What can be worse than, you know, a whole tribe being there, you know, a bunch of families, and taking the biggest, the blackest, most alpha Jake, and literally putting him on the floor in front of his sons, in front of his daughters, in front of his wives, you know, and just raping him. But it's going to be worse than that. You know?
Hey, when they compassed Jerusalem by the walls with their armies,
we resorted to cannibalism.
Man. Yeah, man.
We end that. It says that in the curses. That's referring to them. You know, the falling away. This is what this is going into. The falling away. Yep. You know, we resorted to cannibalism, eating children, you know, eating people. When you can't eat, you know, that sounds. You literally lose your shit. You know, that sounds crazy to us. Yeah, but would you rather not eat, starve to death, or would you rather eat your child?
I answer that question
crazy,
wisely. Man. Answer that question real wisely, man. And that's fucking scary, man. You know, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'd be traumatized if I heard a baby screaming and crying because their parents are slowly killing it, trying not to, but because they want to eat it. I'd fucking lose my mind a little bit there too, man. Probably get a little bit. I find it hard to sleep if I heard that shit. But man, we're gonna hear that pretty frequently, man. Especially, you guys in Babylon, you know, you're gonna hear a lot of those, a lot of explosions. Not like we're not gonna hear it here, man, but you know, up in Babylon, they're just a bit too much with their Second Amendment, so to speak. All right, so you know, when you consider how much wickedness has happened in the world, and it's gonna be worse, you should just constantly remember who your enemy is, who you must be in that time. You know. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 14 verse 12 and 13. Meaning chapter 14 verses 12 and 13. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Alright, so this whole chapter is going into the destruction of Babylon the Great, so-called United States of America, and the people, the rulership thereof. The king of Babylon is that ruling class, and that is E. And he's the one whose pride has deceived him to the point he thinks he can take on the Lord. You gotta be really fucked in the head to think that.
Yeah, man. You gotta be crazy, man. You gotta be completely. You gotta have
a fool.
You gotta have a deceiving spirit on you.
Yeah.
Verse 5 says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things.
Slack it.
No worries.
Could you get verse 4 again, please?
Yeah, I got you. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God.
So Ezekiel 28 and verse 1. The word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, saying to the prince of Tyrus. But you see, this is one we forgot to say. The spiritual, E is in the same spirit of the king of Tyrus. When we're listing all them ones. Anyway, Ezekiel 28 and 2. Son of man, saying to the prince of Tyrus, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power, I am a God, and sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of God, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. And that's talking about E. Yeah, he's got all these different. Yeah, the amount of adverts. For example, you talk about some shit. Yeah, you're on the phone. You say, "Oh, I need to pick up some dog food." Some random stuff. Next one, you'll get enough ads popping up. Dog food near you. Cheap dog food in your area. Single dog food for you. You get all these adverts. So he's wise. Your cell phone will connect to a certain mast. Yeah, and like when he goes into solving all the murder cases and everything. Yeah, he uses his wisdom for good ultimately in that. To a degree. But he's got that dominion. He's got that rulership. You can't go off the grid and not have him find you. It's very difficult. Right. So that just shows you he is on a high level. Yeah, now he's getting exposed. Now that's a wonder of the Lord in itself. The same people you had in hardcore slavery, bondage. You restricted them to their access to education. You economically castrated them, made them not be able to provide for their family. You demoralized them, you brutalized them. And now these same people, these same niggers and spicks, are the ones exposing you boldly, telling you to your face, looking you in your blood clot eye. You know, Jake didn't want to look E in the eye, 100 years ago, even less than that. Yeah, so it shows the Lord is stirring up spirits, man. And that man is getting exposed, that man of sin, that devil.
This is verse 6. Now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time.
And it's the time, it's your time. Your time's up, Mr. E. Right, let's get this. That's why he's moving with such, velocity. He's the velociraptor. This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right, so that's why he wants to push this charagma out. Yeah, that's why he wants to get you to be comfortable. I just want a drink of whiskey, a pork chop, and I'm happy, man. Yeah, I could live here another 100 years.
Hey, not even that. Not even that, right? It's things that aren't inherently bad. You fucking love it too much, Jake. You're too much of you just too obsessed with trying to build.
Whiskey's not bad.
Yeah. Right.
You're not bad to have some Strong's drink.
Hey, it's not bad to start a family, but when you're just trying to prosper with your family in this world, and you've got
18 wives, 3 million children, and you're trying to do the ministry, and you're trying to work on top of that.
Or you're let's say you're Jake in the world, you're probably all about what is it, having one wife. What's the word? Monogamy?
Yeah.
You're about having one.
That's monogamy.
Monogamy, yeah, you're right.
Woman.
It sounded weird.
No one says that.
Yeah, I know, I noticed actually. People get confused. And then now, he's gonna have a family, and his image of his life, family life, is to do with the world.
Family.
Like if you think about the word image, what? Resemblance and likeness? Let's say you put an image in your head of Jake had an image of family. That image is him, shaving his fucking head bald with the shaved goatee, is sat with his family, with their Greek clothes, eating pork ribs and watching NBA. That's life for Jake. They don't really have much else to live for, man. Like Jake in the world, he just wants to live for the prosperity of E. Like he wants to serve E. Basically, yeah, he wants to fucking be a servant for E.
He's the Linda, what you call him, man?
Linda Blair.
Bending over backwards, man.
Yeah, man. So that's the whole point. Like that's what Jake does. He goes. It's like when it says the bewitching of naughtiness, right?
Yeah, does obscure things which are honest.
Yeah, that's Wisdom of Solomon 4:12. Okay, because inherently whiskey again isn't bad. But hey, man, you do too much of that
brown sauce.
You give it to the wrong person, whatever. You already know the deal, man. Job 14:5, however, it says this: seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So he's bound, man. He's bound ultimately by his time. Yeah, man. Alright, so which means you and his servants are bound too, man. His ministers in the flesh in this earth right now. Alright, the ones that want to go with him. Ultimately, your future you think of as a family man, as a dude in the world, just trying to prosper for things in the world. That's all gonna be gone. Like everything you're looking for, you're not even gonna see a fraction of it in your future. Alright? Like you're not supposed to be thinking, I can't wait to see my grandkids.
To be honest, if you're talking about in the kingdom, I can't wait to see my grandkids stroking lions, flying about.
That's the whole point, though, in the kingdom,
Yeah. If you're talking about, I can't wait to see my grandkids,
go to college,
get a pedal bike, and start pushing crack, because that's Jake.
Yeah, that's real.
That's really, what else? There's like we're getting into that. We have to take responsibility. We really as ourselves as men, firstly, but a lot of the opportunities are lacking. But Jake pushes out that spirit, and then E will use that music, to push it back upon him. This is the idealized Jake. What's an idealized Jake right now? A trapper, a top Pyrex cooker. This is the shit that's pushed to little Jakes. that think, oh yeah, that's how I grow up, that's how I be cool.
Yep, this is how you grow up, this is how you become a man, this is how you make money type of attitude. And that's the key one. I don't know why. That's really the there you go. That's the real reason why, man. That's the idol that he wants you to serve, man. Ultimately, because that MOTB, that digital oil, is going to be heavily pushing your face for things like money and food, which is what really wealth, resources, man. Okay, obviously, fake ass shit, but a form of money. We're not going to sit there and pretend there is literally no value in having, fake fiat petrocurrency.
Yeah, because you can get, you can eat from it. You
Yeah.
can't eat it. I wouldn't advise that. You can go in and exchange it as long as it's, in fashion.
Yep.
But this is Wisdom of Solomon 14:27. For the worshipping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
Yep.
Right. So, like it says, the love of money is the root of all evil. But when you love it, you're idolizing it.
Yep.
You're making it into an idol.
Yep. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:6. And now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. This is for the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Woo! Hold on. So who was ruling at this time? Who was ruling in the time when the mystery of iniquity was already working? Well, Paul was under Roman rule.
So it says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Which means his mystery of iniquity in Rome was already picking up.
And again, that shows you a lot, really. It shows you Babylon. It connects the dots perfectly where Babylon the Great really is.
As his ways are plain unto the holy,
so are they stumbling blocks into the wicked. Now it says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with
that
the spirit.
wicked. Hold on,
that
wicked.
Yep,
so
wicked.
who is the wicked, man?
Yep.
Who is the wicked? Let me
It's
pull
the
it.
Antichrist.
That's the Antichrist. Well, what about this? Oh, that's the Antichrist. What is it? Daniel 8, which is the one that goes into Greece and then Persian media. We don't need to pull it, but maybe pull it just to prove it, and then click down where it says that's the king of Greece.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll take that's the Antichrist.
This is look at Daniel. Daniel chapter 8, and we'll go to verse 3. And verse 3 says, Then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram.
Alright, so you pause it there, you say, so who's that? That's the Antichrist, yeah? And then you skip down.
Verse 20, the ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia.
Wait, that's no, read that again.
It says, the ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia. Now, you go to verse 5. Was it 5? Yeah, it says, and as I was considering, behold, a he-goat came.
Oh, sorry. That's the Antichrist. You skip down again.
To verse 21, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king, which is Alexander the Great.
Right, so the whole idea of the Antichrist, one singular Antichrist. Yeah,
it's the book.
But at the same time, if you're gonna say his empire is anti-Hamashiach, the anointed, and his people thereof, you're not wrong. Yeah. But you are wrong, because you're saying it in this is the Antichrist.
Yeah,
There's
right,
Antichrist that's going to come. This is the man of sin. The man of sin is referring to a nation.
The only time you can ever really say the anti-Messiah is if you're saying the ruler of Babylon is like the top of all the anti-Messiahs is him. But either way, you're not. The thing is, we're not even going to do all this, man. You're not saying any of this, man. You're just talking shit. That's the whole point. This is 1 John chapter 2, verse 18. It says, little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard, that the Antichrist shall come.
See? So what are your brothers talking about?
Yeah. Even now are they many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. That will end it there, man. Simple and plain, man. You have to read more than that. Now, 2 Thessalonians 2, and I'll read verse 7 again. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Oh, you got scripture?
This is Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. The border of wickedness, when you go into that, I believe the word is Gadawa, and that's going into,
territory.
Yeah. So wherever they set up shop, we've set out a challenge. We've set up a formal challenge for every E out there. Tell me one place your nation has gone and not bred wickedness, according to the scripture. where they've kept any, some form of biblical law, not violated 10 others in the setting up of one.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 7. The mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed.
That wicked, this is that wicked. Malachi 1 and 4.
Yep, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Right, and he's using, the mouthpiece of the Heavenly Father is what? The prophets.
Yep.
This is Luke chapter 1 and verse 71. It says, in fact, verse 70, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. So, from the world was set up, the Lord had holy prophets, teaching, preaching, in the time of the early chapters of Genesis, for example, and when they heard the voice of the Lord. You've always had that. You've always had that. The prophets, and you've always had that righteous remnant as well.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Now, 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
So when we say not the spiritual demon Satan, but the physical counterpart, we're referring to this.
Right.
This is the man whose coming is after the spiritual demon Satan. Yep. He's operating in that same spirit.
Right.
But he's a physical man, that exudes Satanism.
Right.
That protrudes from his character.
And it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. And the biggest one you can think of right now that people are going to be heavily deceived by is the MOTB. Especially the one in the fucking head, man, where everyone's like, motherfuckers can walk now, they can dunk and shit.
Yeah.
Bro, you know what I mean?
Someone paralyzed from the neck down can now do a 360 no scope on Call of Duty.
That's a big part, to deceive people, because they're gonna be like, well, why wouldn't you do? How great are these individuals?
And then therefore, so how wicked are these people condemning it? You're telling me my grandma can start walking again, she can see again, she can hear again. You lot are wicked because you're pushing that people shouldn't get this. You're making people skeptical. You're doing this, you're doing that.
This is we're moving on now. This is the future.
Yeah, transhumanism.
Yeah, man. Proverbs 17 and 15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to Yahweh.
That's right.
Well, there you go. Now, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 10 says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Wow. Again, it says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, right? Because that's what it's all about, man. With E is all about deceiving everyone. And a big time deceiver,
sending them a strong delusion.
if you're a real deceiver, man, you'll make the world think they ain't even, what's a deceiver? I don't even know. How could there be a deceiver around us? How could there be a devil? How could there be a...
Is that one quote about being bamboozled? You know that? You ever heard of that?
Oh, I recall bamboozled being taught.
Let me see this.
To me.
I recall properly. Basically, it's easier. It's another roundabout way of saying the truth is stranger than fiction. It's more. Once people have been bamboozled, it's more difficult to tell them and convince them they've been bamboozled than to,
I see Mike said that. It's easier to get deceived than to convince someone that they've been deceived, basically, roughly paraphrasing what he said, And that's not a guy in the truth. He might be a Jake, but he teaches martial arts. But you can see in the world they do have understanding of that to a degree. Okay. And in his context, it was deceiving someone if that he's actually good, or he actually is training something that actually works, And that's basically right. They think right now they have this, their sword is sharp, these Christianity bug-outs, and people of the world in general. They actually think they're sharp with it, man. They've got the skills, right, to go through a spiritual sword fight.
They've gone to Ease school, and they've got the little fancified piece of paper.
The stupid hat they threw in the air when everybody was rejoicing.
And that's some Greek shit, right? Hat is Greek. Let me find that. Let's fact check it. It's a book of 1 Maccabee, I'll take your word for it. 1 Maccabees 4, do you know the verse?
Start 4, I think.
4. Yeah. It's 1 Maccabees chapter 4.
We're going to Jason, isn't it? It's not 4, but it's definitely chapter 4.
Coming up with that one.
I'm 100% sure it's chapter 4. If I'm wrong, then forgive me.
First Maccabees. Right, this is Second Maccabees, chapter 2, and Second Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 12. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat.
Forgive me, yeah.
Right, so that's some Greekish, freakish fashion, man. The same Jake, walking around in it with his hat, with his tank top, in the spirit of gymnasium, which means gymnos goes into naked. That was some Greek. When it talks about in Maccabees them setting up a place of exercise at Jerusalem in the fashion or manner of the heathen.
Right. That is a gymnasium. But sorry, gymnasium doesn't mean naked. Gymnasium comes from the word gymnos, naked.
Yeah,
clarify.
sorry.
Yeah, no worries. The gymnasium again, is a place where you exercise naked. That's part of their customs and whatnot. And just you see like he's talking about Jake. Yeah, Jake likes to wear fitteds, right? Like baseball hats and shit. They're moving in the same vibration of the Greeks, man.
And you've got a group in the truth that like to do that when it talks about the not having your head covered. But they like to wear that. They don't cover it with a turban or anything, which are the ancient Israelite turbans. They would have a hole in the top, a mitre or a mitre. But they'd wear a hat, which you to be fair, you're allowed to wear a hat, because we're not dressed solely in garments head to toe all the time. So you can, but why would you? When you know it's a Greekish fashion, especially when preaching. That is going off according to the scriptures.
It ain't even it is, and because I got there's a hat lying in my house, and sometimes I'd wear a hat with a cap to stop the sun going in my eyes or whatever. But this is the difference, man. Right, Sakari, you guys fucking make Sakari hats and you sell them. You make them. You're turning the house of the Lord into a house of merchandise, man. Right, and what's the merchandise that you sell? Greek shit. So it's just there's so much going off there, really. Okay, but no, again, go.
The Greek, the guy, the real, the guy who took over, Alexander the Greek, Alexander the Freak, as well as Alexander the Great, was from Macedon. He was a Greek. Yeah, he was a non-Israelite Greek. And so when we're getting into the falling away, the falling away, it was from the Romans. Before that, there were Greeks. So what's this following on in his fashions? When we're meant to be exposing him. Right. Not saying, alright, so brother, you don't wear jeans made by E. You do you get your shit directly from the Moabites? I'm not saying that. You have to use balance with it. At the same time, if we can see this is a thing, then it's a thing. You see?
Yeah. You could wear a tank top in your house, but do you want it? Really? Do you know what I mean? You kind of be like, I ain't trying to wear it. I ain't trying to wear something like that. You know what I mean? But you got any scriptures? We're gonna end at verse 10 anyway. That was the plan. So, but I don't want to say this video was edifying. We're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Kodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone who rule well, labor in His word and doctrine. And Shalom, that meaning peace, may that be unto the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.